If a person with asthma doesn't get the vaccine and gets the flu, it could be life-threatening for them.
This is for my grandmother. You have to make her proud.
I tried to think like who I could talk to get more insight. I know a couple people who do have ADHD.
I decided to actually draw out a cancer cell and then have people's faces almost melting off of the cancer cell to represent like the pain felt and the torture felt by people with cancer.
I thought it out, then I drew it, then I just attacked it.
Everyone can do great things if they just try first, or at least just start.
This is a huge network of inspiration. At the core of the eXpressions program are the high school student interns doing research at the Cleveland Clinic over the summer. They get inspired by their mentors.
So that's just
They come back to their respective schools and they inspire the rest of their students from that work that they did.
It gives you so much opportunity and a wide variety of choices that you can make when you're deciding what to do with the project.
eXpressions comes in and it's like the air is all sucked out of the room and then it's all blown back in there because it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta pick some type of research, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then all of a sudden, hey, I found 3 things and these are the ideas that I have.
We are connecting to science. We are connecting to health. We are connecting to sociology. We are connecting to research and statistics, which is mathematical. So these are colliding on many different levels.
My favorite subject is personally science. I honestly don't really like writing or math that much, but when I saw that this is based on science, that made me want to do it more so I can connect the two together and improve my writing and math.
Kids will more and more need to pull from so many different disciplines that kids really have to be able to synthesize and not just work in isolation.
When I first looked at the research, it caught my eye because I didn't know that many people thought a certain way about their health and going to the doctors. I wanted to go out to minority men and ask them what their thoughts were on it. It was hard trying to, can you do this for me? Do you mind doing this? Because it was like, for a lot of people, it was like the first time they heard me say anything and they were like, what, she talks?
We want to get people of different backgrounds with different skills working together, and that's always going to produce something better.
I worked with my teacher, Mrs. Duncan, and I have my friends peer edit a lot. Every time I do a new draft, they edit it again and again until it's something I'm happy with.
It's about problem solving, creative thinking, and this is to the extreme.
I want creative problem solvers, and I want 28 completely different right answers. I want them to do 5 rough drafts and have more than one example, because there may be something in that 5th drawing that makes that first one so much sweeter, so much sweeter.
Nowadays, not many places where you can fail and it'll be okay. It's like you have to push yourself, strive for success.
I think I came to a crossroads when I was looking at all the scientific research because I was really struggling at first with how I would interpret them. My grandmother passed away from pancreatic cancer, so I really know how it feels to have a relative and to know someone with cancer and how terrible it is, the pain that they experience. So that's really what I based my project off of.
The kids have to come out of their comfort zone and then personalize it and connect it to themselves, but then at the same time still apply writing rules, critical thinking, and then most importantly, they have to develop the ability to communicate to someone that they've never met before and try to bring them into their mind.
My project is based off of Obama's Hope poster, and it says, give hope and donate, basically.
Yeah, I think you have to make it more interesting to the people you're trying to target.
any time we can give them the opportunity to explore more about themselves, whether it's a new interest or whether it's a skill that was untapped, they now know they have. Maybe it creates self-efficacy, and it's such an important piece to the learning process that it helps them grow.
Every other kid, whether they won a prize or not, it was a home run. Because again, it was that light bulb moment, aha. And they were successful with it.
Like a lot of people tell me, you can't. But in this project, I proved that I could.
Innovation is that place in your mind or that place in the world where creativity and science and formal learning meet.
The first thing we saw when we saw the picture were the circles in the Bronco tubes. So then when we thought of circles, then we thought of geometry and the formulas that could go with circles. Through this math interpretation, our message, we wanted to put out that people should get the flu vaccine. And so we proved it with math.
Science gives you the skill. The creativity gives you the ability to apply that skill.
To really launch into those higher categories of academic achievement and hopefully new discovery, you've got to have the creativity. eXpressions was a perfect match for that because it takes the content and asks you to take it into something new and different.
We are the Global Center for Health Innovation, and that word innovation carries some responsibility. That's what we have here. We have companies who are on the cutting edge, who remain on the cutting edge, and that's why I think housing the eXpressions exhibit here is just a perfect place, because that's exactly what it speaks to.
We've got students who are engaged, who are interested, they're looking at things differently, and what happens? Well, hopefully they'll come back and then they'll give to the community. They might come work at the Cleveland Clinic. They might inspire something else going on. Everybody is sort of getting sparks from everybody else.
There's a maturity that takes place in the process of researching, of creating the work of art, to express how that connects to them, how that art connects to society.
One of the things I've heard students say is how I really didn't realize how hard some people have it with some of these very real medical issues. But what can I add to this? And that's where the I comes in, not in a selfish, self-absorbed way, but in a very positive, productive, giving way.
I like trying to make a difference. So I wanted to do something like a dresser. I wanted to make it sort of like a brain with like thoughts of different minority men, what they think of their health and going to the doctors. And I put hidden thoughts because it's usually closed, because I wanted to show that usually they keep them quiet, but through time you can actually bring them out and actually get to focus on them more.
To read some of those stories and how personalized some were about a family member, it was very powerful. To see that among my students lets me know that it would be something that can make a real positive impact on our civilization.
This program allows students to go to a different place than we do in the classroom because it is highly creative. This one unleashes untapped potential.
It's just amazing that someone could be inspired by something that I wrote.
I can achieve just about anything if I push myself to my limits.
Every journey begins with a single step, and I think that applies to life and eXpressions and everything, really.